What's up everybody, Misc here and welcome to my YouTube channel. So the time has finally come. You've finished all your documentation, you've booked your flight tickets, you have booked a place to stay, and now comes the biggest challenge. What should I pack? This is a question that every student faces, and if it's your first time traveling abroad, then it's even more complicated because you don't know what exactly to anticipate. You have this precognition of every good or bad scenario that could possibly happen, and you want to be prepared for everything. It is definitely a good idea to be well prepared, but this often leads to overpacking and you might actually end up carrying stuff that you don't really need. And nothing makes the airline companies more happier than seeing a person carrying excess luggage. That's where I step in, trying to share some tips and advices on the things that you must pack and the things that can be avoided based on my experience. Everything that I'm gonna share here is based on my personal experience. With that being said, let's get started. November, December, January and February felt the coldest for me. For most of you, the session would probably be beginning in September. So I definitely advise you to carry some warm clothes such as sweatshirts, sweaters, full sleeve t-shirts, thermals. For school, you don't really have a dress code. At least at ESCP, we didn't. But I have noticed that people do dress up and there is an unsaid minimum that you're expected to follow. I personally wear semi-formals like a plain shirt over a jeans, layered up with a sweater and a jacket, and during summer it's like a normal t-shirt or a collared t-shirt. During winters, people in France always dress up in layers, so when you're outside you wear like 3 or 4 layers, and as soon as you step inside a heated building you can remove the top layers. Carry one suit along with a tie for formal occasions, couple of workout clothes because you will actually see a lot of people doing outdoor activities and you will also feel like going and doing some outdoor activities. So carry some workout clothes and your sleepwear. I also noticed that denim jeans are quite expensive in France. So if you're someone like me who loves denim, then I suggest you to carry at least 2 pairs of good denim jeans. For all other stuff, you can buy them for a reasonable price at places like Uniqlo, H&M, C&A, etc. Just to give you a rough idea, a good quality t-shirt would cost you around 12 to 15 euros and a pant would set you back around 30 to 40 euros depending on which shop you buy. Based on this, you can decide what you want to carry from home and what stuff you want to buy in France. As for shoes, white leather sneakers are the safest bet. It literally goes with every attire. I carried a pair of that along with some formal shoes and sports shoes. And later, I bought an all-weather boot in Paris which I use for traveling, hiking, and sometimes even when it's like really cold, I use that boot. If possible, you could even carry some woolen socks or some thick socks which can keep your feet warm. Let's start with this. You will still be allowed to study if you don't own an iPad with an Apple Pencil. At this point, some people make it look as if you cannot take notes without those things. Trust me, it's a luxury. You can buy it if you want to, but you can function equally well without that. On the other hand, laptops are definitely essential. In France, the keyboards are AZERTY and not QWERTY, so it's better to buy your laptop in your home country. Buying a laptop with a QWERTY keyboard in France is really time consuming and tedious. As for the type of laptop, I personally use a MacBook Pro because it has all the creative tools that I need for my marketing oriented career path. Now, if you're someone who probably will be using the Microsoft tools more, then it's more advisable to go with a Windows laptop. Most of the classes will allow you to use electronics for note taking, but there are some professors who do not allow the use of electronics in their classes. So it's always a good idea to carry a notebook and a pen in your bag. Make sure to carry 1 or 2 travel adapters for the plug conversion. I personally carried one universal adapter from home, and later I ended up buying a couple of adapters in Paris for like 4 euros each. Along with this, I also carried my headphones, my camera, a 1 TB external hard disk, 2 USB flash drive, and a Type-C multi-port for my MacBook Pro. Also, do not forget to pack all your chargers. Definitely carry some medicines. Yes, you can indeed buy the medicines in France, but when you're sick, you will not have the energy to go to the pharmacy and get the medicines. Also, things get much worse when you don't know the name of the medicine or you're not able to communicate with the person in the pharmacy. So it's always a good idea to have some medicine with you, at least for the initial period. If you're carrying some antibiotics and strong medications, then I definitely recommend you to have a prescription. It's not mandatory, but it's just my suggestion to be on the safe side. The medicines that I actually found useful were vitamin D supplements, omega-3 supplements, antihistamines for allergy, drops for dry eyes, eucalyptus oil or something like that for cold, and creams for burns or sprains. These medicines for me were lifesavers. Along with this, I also carried a box of Samahan. Now, Samahan is not actually a medicine, but it's more like a herbal mix which you can have it like a tea. You just have to put this in a cup of hot water and drink it. It's more like a precautionary thing. But yeah, it was very useful and I found it quite comforting to drink that during cold winters. This varies from person to person and it depends highly on your food preferences. Now, I'm someone who's not very particular about food. I wanted to try and adapt myself to the food that is locally available. Now, if you're going to live or visit Paris, then you can pretty much find all the Asian spices there. As for the generic spices like cumin powder, turmeric powder, thyme, etc., and other stuff like rice, instant noodles, lentils, you can buy them in any supermarket. So do not carry them from home and save some luggage space. I carried some Maggi masala packets and that was really helpful. These were like these tiny packets and the flavor was quite decent as well. And also if you like some particular snack from your hometown, then make sure to pack that as well. As for utensils, carry some basic cutlery. If you have booked a furnished apartment, then you should pretty much have everything included in the apartment. But even otherwise, you can always buy the utensils from IKEA. It's pretty cheap there, or any other store in France. Do not carry them as they are heavy and will take up a lot of your luggage space. I actually carried a small cooker and to be very honest, I later felt that a small rice cooker which I could have bought for a very reasonable price in Paris would have been sufficient. Have a good multifunction knife like a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. It's a bit expensive investment, but it lasts a lifetime. And since the quality of the product is so good, the small thing actually serves the purpose of multiple products like a screwdriver, bottle opener, corkscrew, knife, and so on. Just make sure to put it in your check-in luggage when you're traveling. Carry a thin raincoat. You'll rarely find a heavy downpour in France, and most of the time it's mild drizzle. And a thin raincoat is sufficient enough for that. For your daily care products like toothbrush, shampoo, soap, face wash, you can find them in any supermarket in France. So just carry one set and if it gets over, then buy it there in France. I love reading books, but I'm not a big fan of Kindle. So if you're like me, then make sure to carry some English books from your home because it's really hard to find English books in France, and even if you do, they're quite expensive. Next up, glasses. Now if you wear glasses, then make sure to carry a spare one. I also recommend you to carry a good pair of sunglasses because sometimes the sun is really harsh. The primary idea is to protect your eyes. Style comes after that. Talking about sun, also make sure to carry a good sun protection cream. You could either carry it or actually buy it in any pharmacy in France. Do not forget to carry your important documents like birth certificate, driving license, mark sheets, etc. If possible, get some of these certificates translated into French so that in case of emergency, it's much easier to convey the information to the others. I actually prepared a separate physical folder and I put all the important documents in that folder and kept it separately. So amidst all the chaos of what to pack and what not to pack, do not forget to carry your essential documents. And with that, I think I have pretty much said everything that was on my mind. And you guys are amazing, so even if I did miss something, put them in the comments below so that it can be helpful to your fellow students. I was able to pack all my stuff in a big suitcase, a full-sized rucksack, and a cabin luggage-sized duffel bag. So if you're cautious enough, you can pack pretty much everything within this and end up saving some money in the airport. And trust me, the lesser the number of bags, the better. And do not worry if you actually end up forgetting something, because in the end, you're going to France, not to a forest. So worst case scenario, you can go there and buy it. So that's all for this video, guys. I hope you found this video to be useful. If you did, then hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will catch up with you all in the next one. Till then, goodbye.